Gervacio was there in the first day.
With you?
Yes, with me. He hosted the fans stream. Jamie was there in the second day. It was a two-day event for athletes showcasing their talents. What was the most interesting for you in that combine?
I mean, I think the fact that it happened was the most pivotal moment. You know, the fact that, we started the lottery on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we had the combine. So it's very interesting how things have developed for the PVL.
Well, for day two, the scrimmage, imagine you have 47 draftees and you have to somehow stand out amongst the rest. And when I was watching them play yesterday, it was honestly like the Hunger Games. I was like, whoa. Me and Billy were like, why is everyone so good? And you can just see there's so much intent, so much passion in their movements. And I was really impressed with yesterday.
So you said, Zinga, parang this finally happened. So how was the reception of the coaches, of the draft rookies, and even the PVL? How was it overall there in day one pa lang?
Sabi nga namin ni Ayel, like, this is not just for the athletes, but also for the teams, for the coaches, to see, para well-informed lahat ng parties involved, the teams, the management, the coaches. So parang now they can see what the level is of the athletes, yung athleticism nila, the skills. That's why there were 6 stations, 7 stations.
Wow.
And then 6 of those, makapapakita kung ano yung kaya mo, kakayanan mo in terms of athleticism. And especially that, after the draft on July 8, halfway through July is the seasonal, the next conference for the PVL. So, parang it's also good to see how ready they will be by the time the next conference starts.
Jamie mentioned earlier nga, parang it was a showcase, a show-off of talent.
Show-off.
So let's kind of zoom in to some of the players. You gave us a list of the players you think really stood out in the two-day combine event. But let's start off with the last Pilipinas players, Thea Gagate and Julia Coronel. How do you think they did in the two-day event?
Well, the top two, Thea, she's considered the overall pick, right? And when you look at her resume, she's 3-time UAAP best middle blocker, 6'2", part of Alas Pilipinas. So you know that it's a possibility she could be the top two. And for Julia naman, after her stint in the UAP and performing well in Alas, she really showed herself. Of course, she was mentored by Gia de Guzman as well in that short span of time. So I'm really impressed with the talent that I saw yesterday.
Of course, we have to talk about the Alas Pilipinas, Thea Gagate, and of course, Julia Coronel. But Z, who were the other standouts from day one?
I mean, Aliyah Torres definitely stood out. She was able to sit down with us with Ayel nung day one. It's so funny because I think she just finished one of the stations. So, pagpasok niya sa
Out of breath. Out of breath.
Hingal na hingal siya. So, parang it's so cool. Fun fact also, Aliyah Torres is from... she's a Phil-Canadian athlete from Brock University. And yun na nga yung sasabi din namin na, this draft would showcase athletes, not just those we see in Manila on TV, but also, its expansion all throughout the entire universe. So parang, it kind of levels out the playing field for the athletes also, at least the opportunity to get into the PVL. But Aliyah Torres also, since day one, yun nga yung measurement ng mga skills, I think 3 or 4 of the skill tests, she made it to the top 5. So you can already see that, this girl is very athletic. So definitely watch out because those 4 skills, it's the jumping, it's the sprinting. So she has power, she has speed. So those are the things that, the combine day one really measured for that.
Now, another player who kind of stood out in the measurement part in the day one was Pierre Avellana from UST. And Jamie actually chose her one of the standouts, especially in day 2, kung saan mas scrimmage na, mas 6-on-6. That's where we saw most of the volleyball skills they were able to apply. So what can you tell about Pierre Avellana?
Well, she had her vertical, I think it was like 10 feet. I mean, number 3 alongside Thea Gagate. And you would think when you look at her physicality, she's not the tallest, right? But she was able to showcase her talent, especially in this scrimmage. I mean, imagine from UAAP until now, you have almost 2 months of no play, but I'm sure these girls prepped physically, mentally, and also emotionally.
Aside from the vertical jump, you were there in day 2 scrimmage. As a setter, are there any setters there that stood out for you?
I have to say Nika Yandok from Adamson.
Oh, yeah.
She was on point. And to think, you know, when you look at the journey of them in the UAAP, she didn't get a lot of playing time. She wasn't always first six, but this is an opportunity for her to, again, showcase her talent. And she was already running combination plays, and to think that she hasn't been with these players on the same court, I was really impressed with her.
No, and we saw a good list of liberos as well trying to be drafted. But there's one player who stood out, Karen Verdeflor from Adamson.
Yes.
But Z, what do you think something that she actually did or performed in that day that set her apart from other liberos?
I mean, again, it's the how they respond to this kind of situation. You know, you got one
Right.
day or 2 days to show your best. And especially for the student athletes who came from, you know, the break after the UAP, they had a break and then now there's a combine. You know, for me, it's really the intangibles na how did they prepare coming into the combine. Kasi ito na yun paakit na sila sa professional ranks. So parang paano nila i-accept? How are they gonna accept this challenge? And for Karen Verdeflor also, you know, parang she played big time in that one day opportunity for her to showcase her talent.
I also saw from your list you have some UP Lady Maroons who stood out for you.
UP
UP.
fight.
Well, Steph Bustrillo, I was really impressed with her. She played in both pins. Sometimes they had her in the open and opposite. And you can, I think she's been doing weights on the side because she's very fit. And what I also noticed, the coaches are not just looking at the physicality, they're also looking towards the end of the combine. How do you play when you're tired, right? How can you adjust after a mistake? So they're looking at everything. Like when I was looking at all the coaches, they're really like laser focused on all the players. It was kind of a serious vibe and a little bit intense also.
Ano talaga, Hunger Games?
Yeah, Hunger Games. Hunger
For you
Games.
guys, if you have like top 5 na picks for the
Oops.
draft. Yeah.
Oh, hot seat.
Yeah, God, I'm nervous. Yeah.
Top 2. Oh, of course.
I mean, I think it's already a given or a last players. I
Yeah.
mean, given that they have that kind of experience and exposure, it makes them, you know, the top 2 picks.
But quick question lang, because we missed out one player, Leila Cruz. It's so important to talk about
yes,
her
yes,
because
yes.
We haven't seen her for so long. But
Yes.
how did she do, and especially in the day 2 of the combine?
Well, the day 2, the last time we saw her was season 85, right before, of course, her injury. It's like she was playing from season 85 on the opposite. She even had some back row attacks as well, very fit as well. And you can see that she's mentally tuned in with this, because this is the only opportunity that these girls can have to play in the PVL.
And especially for someone who's coming off of an injury, you know,
That's
it's
not
very
easy.
crucial
Yeah.
talaga to show everybody, especially the coach na, hey, I take this seriously, I'm back for good, and this is what I bring to the table.
I love that you were able to, you know, na catch up niyo ako.
Of course.